Good afternoon, this is R.P.Radford, 50 years of chess. I hope you're all well, doing good. I want to share with you this game. It was played on the 13th of December 1994. It was a league match between South Bristol A versus Downend A. I was on a lower board, and my opponent was Mr. D.Oldfield. And I had the white pieces. So I opened with d4. We'll get through the opening and then we can look a little bit more. I've shattered c5, c4. So this is where we're at the moment. Now I exchanged off the pawns because I want him to have the isolated pawn in this line, which is usually black has to defend the isolated pawn, and it's either going to be a draw or maybe white will win it somehow. So here we go, that's it. Now I've got all my pieces out, I'm well developed here. He hasn't yet played his bishop out, so I've just got a modest 0.2 plus so far with white. Mr. Oldfield went bishop e6. Giving extra support to that d pawn, and I played rook c1 with a masked, a hidden attack on the bishop on c5. He moves it back to e7, and I've gone in knight to d4. I want to be active as quick as possible and get that bishop on the h1 a8 diagonal involved in this game. So he attacked the bishop, and I took the other, his bishop, which is a supporting piece to the pawn. He retook, that gives him a weak pawn there now. What am I going to do about that? Well, I swapped off. And then I played queen b3, hitting his weak b pawn, but also with on the same diagonal as the king on g8. So he played queen d7, covering that b pawn. And now I put some extra attack against that weak pawn. So queen takes queen, pawn takes queen, and bishop e6 check. So he went queen e7, knight a4. Not sure where it's going other than just covering the pawns. Now he's going for a direct attack on my queen, which I take care of by queen d3, and he's pushed his pawn up. So he's looking to get control of the centre. He started quite well, so I stopped that by playing e4, and I've got a 0.1000 now, so we're evens. We're evens according to Stockfish. He took, I took, then he played b3, because if he wants to move the queen, he may not be able to defend that pawn. And also he doesn't want me going with my knight or rook onto c5. So I brought my knight back, preparing for knight d5, forking the queen and rook. Now he made a big mistake here. I've immediately jumped to 1.9 plus. I'm going to give you a little test here. What move did I play? Maybe not what is the best move, but what move did I play? I think it is the best move. It's the move Stockfish also gives. This is very interesting though. Of course, I played f4. You can't go pawn takes because the queen takes knight. But he did. He completely overlooked the fact that I played queen takes knight. It was a blunder. Then he went pawn takes, queen check in the corner, and then I decided not to go pawn takes, but I brought my other rook across, so that I've got my rooks on both the E and F files. So he took again, I took, and then he had a queen check on c7, and I just calmly moved to g2. So I've won a piece. I'm 2 pawns for the piece, but each 2 pawns for the piece. but he didn't want to carry on. He felt it's probably lost for him and it would be a drawn out thing, but he resigned. But I will say, had I been in his position, I might have considered it because his king is quite safe at the moment. Mine's not. Mine's open. And if he could find a way of getting some pieces working, then he would be okay. But he did spend some time before he resigned. He spent about 15 minutes thinking how he could possibly do something. But he couldn't find anything. Stockfish recommends rook d8, queen e4, then rook d2 check. Rook e2, rook takes e2, and knight takes e2. Still not enough for him, really. So, yeah, he didn't want to go on. I understand that. When you're pieced down, it's very difficult. So, that was it. A very short game, really, considering Mr. Oldfield. He was rated around 150 at that time, similar to my own rating, and that would have been about 1770 now, I suppose, in the yellow rating that is being used by the ECF. So, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this game, and I'll look forward to seeing you very soon. Goodbye.